everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to Blossom Thread. So today in this video we're going to talk about where to start crochet. If you're a beginner crocheter, this video is for you. Like, you don't know where to start, like you buy the wrong yarn, what hook size, what yarn, what to do, where to start. So this video is for you. So we're gonna talk about these things and mistakes that you make, and some tips for crochet and one tips for you. So there's many things in this video, so let's get started. First thing is yarn. So you go at a local yarn store and you just stood up there frozen staring at the yarn, that what yarn to buy, and you buy the wrong yarn and you cannot do crochet with it because it's too hard. You're in the right place, let me tell you. So there are many different types of yarn. I have a lot of yarn in front of me. So this one is called velvet yarn. This is acrylic yarn. This is also acrylic color changing, and this is Chanel yarn, and this is like glittery type with wires, I don't know. So the perfect yarn to ever crochet with is acrylic yarn. Like, don't ask me why, because you know acrylic yarn is the best yarn. Let me show you. So this is acrylic yarn. As a beginner crocheter, I started crocheting with this and I made thousands of things with acrylic yarn. Look at this. So this is acrylic yarn, like perfect. It's like so easy to make. I like that. And you should not prefer buying other yarns, because if you're really advanced you should use the other yarns too, because if you're really advanced and you know much about crochet, you know about yarn. Okay, so then look at this yarn. It's so soft and easy to make it with it. Like, you can find your stitches way easy. So why not prefer milk cotton yarn? Like, I don't have milk cotton on right now, but the yarn just fluff up and like, you know, like it just like fluff up, or some stitches just get open like that. So acrylic yarn is the best yarn to ever use, you know. So this is velvet yarn. So why not prefer velvet yarn? You know, like I just made this video. Like, velvet yarn is a yarn like where you sometimes you cannot find your stitches like this. Look at this, the yarn, the fur on the thread. Look at this, the thread is just opening. Look at this. And here we go, it's not like suitable to make, and you can find your stitches, but look at that, the fur is just falling off. It is just falling off. And look at this, what is this? Like, I know, but as a beginner crocheter, you should always use acrylic yarn, not velvet yarn. So just like that. So as the first new crocheter, you should always use acrylic yarn. So this is Chanel yarn. It's the same as velvet yarn, but it's a little bit thin, maybe, I don't know. So like, you know, like they both are the same and the same thing happens to them. Look at this from here. You see, it's opened, and it is really hard to make with these type of yarn. Look at this. So, and now we have this glittery, you can say, or I don't know. I would not prefer doing crochet with this, but if you want a design, you could use this, but you need to learn first to use this, because the wire you see, they just open up and they mess up your work. So acrylic yarn is the best to use. So if you go at a local marketplace shop, just buy the acrylic yarn. Next, we're gonna talk about what colors of yarn should be used. Colors, many things color. So everything come on color. What color to use? Okay, you just understand that acrylic yarn is the best, or like you just find out that this yarn is the best, but I don't know what color to choose. So we're gonna talk about color now. So I prefer using light colors the best, because you know, like, use the light colors, not the dark colors, because you know dark colors are really hard to like crochet with, because I just made a mistake by using dark yarn and I couldn't find my stitches and it was really hard. So I prefer using like white yarn, green yarn, or you could use red, maybe red or orange or light pink, this type of colors. Now we could talk about, can we use like changing color yarn? Well, yes, you could use changing color yarn, and it is like perfect, but sometimes your thing can puzzle up and it can puzzle up you. So first you need to use this plain like color yarn and not this type of color changing yarn. Like I have a lot of color changing yarns, so I prefer, like, you could use color changing yarn. It's your design look up really prettier, and yeah, you could use it, and it's easy to crochet with this color changing yarn. But first do crochet with non-color changing yarn, just simple yarn. Okay, so let's move to another top. Next step is hooks. So you know like what hook should we use, what hook size, and what, let me just tell you. So I have many hooks with me, so let me tell you. Okay, so now we just say you should use the plastic one which have a grip on it, or the metal ones. Oh, where is it going? So I prefer, you could use both. They both are really good. I prefer using the grip one most and the metal one, because the grip one shows a really grip, and I prefer using the grip ones more. These one it's totally depends on you what hook should you use, and metal one are also the best. I started crocheting with this hook, with this little hook, like this one. So you see the size of this hook is 4.0 millimeter. Okay, now this is a hook of 4.0 millimeter hook. You know the size of them are same, but why is it big? Like, I cannot understand. Some hooks have a mistake in it, so I prefer using this ones more because these one are good. So now let's talk about size. What hook size? Like, if you're a beginner crocheter, I prefer you using 4.0 millimeter hook or 3.0 millimeter hook. You know, like, these two hooks are the best to use, because you know, like, as the hook is smaller, your stitches are gonna be tighter and more neater. Like, you know, if you use these 6.0 millimeter hook on like thin acrylic yarn, it like your stitches come out really like it has a really big gap in it, space in it, and like really stretchy and blah blah. Okay, I don't know, but you know, you should use these two hook size. These are recommended for a beginner crocheter, and you should always use that. Okay, next up is stitch markers. So stitch markers are obviously like for, like, what a stitch marker for. So the work of stitch marker is to find your first stitch. Like, if I make 10 chains and I don't know where my first chain is, so I just mark it. And then I just need to insert or do a slip stitch in the first stitch. I just remove the stitch marker. Most of people do not have stitch markers like me. So you could use safety pins, bobby pins like that, or any loop like that. I prefer using safety pins more because they're just good. You know, it's just like a stitch marker. Don't worry, it's not like permanent to use only stitch marker. If you don't have a stitch marker, it's perfectly fine. Use a safety pin, use a bobby pin, like that. Okay, next up is using scissors. You know, like, you need to cut the ends, and like, I prefer using this one scissors because they have a grip and they're good. So you can use any type of scissor you have which cut, and just use the scissor that cuts the yarn. So this is their work step 4. So this was all about the tips about crochet. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to share and subscribe this channel and like my video. So bye bye, we're gonna meet you at the next video.